Welcome back, everyone, to another episode here today. And today we'll be ranking the LMGs of Warzone 1 through 10 as usual. And then we'll get check out the description on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, and Discord located. Always hit the like and subscribe button, and we'll get right into it. Alright, at number 10, the MG34. It kind of gets held back. You run monolithic when you have it unlocked, but I mean this gun isn't really like meta or anything, so I don't really use it. But it is the 10th best LMG. It is usable still. I'd run monolithic if I have it, but right now attack suppressor is just fine. But I would run monolithic because it does give you that more damage range. And this gives you bullet velocity and damage range, but it's just not much. I mean, all these are aim down sight speed and that, but you want to use the brute so you can actually hit the mid range and some long. Tac laser just to get better mobility. Commando foregrip for recoil stabilization and aiming stability. And I would keep that because like you don't need hip fire accuracy, and I think the Ranger, I mean like the operator recoil control, and I mean not that big recoil control. So I mean as long as it's stabilized in that, I think that's the biggest thing. That's why I run Commando. And then I use the hollow sight on because I'm using it more for mid range. You can put a bigger belt on it, but 50 round belt I think was on it. That's good enough for a good mid range, so I try to use this. And I mean overall it's not a bad gun, it's just not one of the top guns. And at number 9 we do have the Holger. This does get held back because of the barrel. There is no barrel. I mean aim down sight speed and then aim down sight movement speed. Now yes, if you want like a really close range gun, I mean yeah you can, but like there's just better options. So I mean it's okay in multiplayer to have these barrels, but in Warzone just no. I mean you can make a smaller build. I will make that build here in a second, but this is the main build I run. Monolithic suppressor, tac laser, VLK, 3 times Ranger, and then sleight of hand. I don't use a 30 round mag because you just need more ammo in that, and it already has a big mag, so I just use sleight of hand. If you want a faster aim down sight speed, you can run like stippled, but I like to be able to reload quick. But if you do want to use that, you can run the Apollo, and then that. You can run it like this, but that's a very close range, but I just think there's better ARs for that, so I personally like to run this build. And the only reason it is at number 9 and not number 8 because of the barrel. This has a bullet range and everything. It has a longer barrel, and that one does not. That's why I have this, because it's going to be better at hitting the mid to long, really good at hitting longer range gunfights. And it does have that big barrel on that, but I have tac laser to speed it up. You can run, I like this because it's a really long range gun, so I mean you don't have to run Ranger, but you can run, like if you want more recoil on that, stabilization in that, you can run a Commando foregrip, but I just like the aiming stability and the recoil control out of the Ranger foregrip, because when I'm hitting the long shots I want as least recoil as I want, and then that applies to this gun. But if you want a long range build, this is pretty good. But that's really the only, I would take the Holger over it, but the Holger just doesn't give me enough like confidence at the longer ranges than the M91 does. And then at 7, this gun, SA87, it is at number 7, but we have some, but at number 5 and that we have some guns. I mean this gun is really underrated. I think it's probably the most underrated LMG. I do have that 7, but it could compete with, it could honestly be up to top 4. These 4 through 7 is really close. And I mean these, well, I'm not gonna show them, but the top 3, they're pretty good, but 4 through 7 is pretty close. This is really underrated. A good long range build still. You have big barrel, you have monolithic, you have Commando, you have 6 round mag, and then you have 3 times optic. I just like the 3 times optic for the range on it, like be able to pinpoint people way better. And then this one, the MG82. I do not have it fully upgraded, so like I haven't fully experienced it yet, but from what I experienced, I mean long range it's okay, but like the mid range is like where you want to be at with it. So my beginning build is suppressor, because you get all them benefits besides the effective damage range, but it'll be alright. And then this cuts down the effective damage range too, which is kind of bad, but I don't have the big barrel, but that's why we do run the target designator, so we get that effective damage range back. But we do, and we get some more hip fire, but you're not gonna really hip firing with this. 3 times optic, and then I just run the standard foregrip. I will run the better foregrip Spetsnaz once it gets there, but I just don't have it unlocked yet. But this is my beginner build on it. Once I get it finally, I'm gonna run that, and then the suppressor down there. But yes, this is my beginner build for it. I do have it ranked at number 6 still, because I do think it's a good LMG. It really fast fire rate. I just haven't got enough play time with it yet. So I mean, these two can honestly switch up like nothing, but I really like the MG82 at the mid-range. But if you want to try something new, use the SA87 because it will not disappoint. The RPD. The only thing holding this back is its bullet velocity is really bad, but with the Grue suppressor we can increase it. With the task force barrel we can increase it. And then we have the 3 times optic for range. This is just for like, you can run, once you unlock it, I would run skeleton stock, but right now I'm running the PKM stock, but they're both mostly the same, but I like to have the sprint to fire speed. That's why I would run the skeleton stock. And then I've Spetsnaz grip just for the recoil control, so it's really a good recoil. You do have to lead your shots a little bit more with this, but as you can see down there, it has almost all green besides mobility, and mobility might be all green. Oh no, but it is. But as you can see, mobility is just back a little bit, and everything else is green besides fire rate, so that is really good. But that's why RPD is at 5, because I think it can hit medium to long range way better than the MG82 can. But the SA87 is like the most consistent gun, but if you really hone in on RPD, it is going to work for you. Then at number 4 we have the Finn. I use this adverse barrel, the long shot advantage, because I mean, yeah, you have the damage range, bullet velocity, recoil control with it, or you can run, no, it's this, yeah. I run this one, not this one, because this one, yes, you do get a little bit of recoil control back, but you will make that up with the Ranger foregrip monolithic suppressor that gives you damage range in that, and then tack laser for being that sight speed, and then the V-time VLK so you can hit mid to long range way better. But my 2 things I would run, I'd either run the long shot adverse or the long shot advantage. This one does have a way lower fire rate, but if you are going to be accurate as all get out, like look at how big the accuracy is. If you do not want a faster fire rate, this is perfect. Accuracy is almost all the way up. I mean, it is insane how accurate it is. But if you want to use the long shot adverse for better fire rate, this is the build. I mean, accuracy is still up, range is up, fire rate's way up, control is still up with this Ranger foregrip. If I use the long shot, I would definitely use Ranger foregrip, but if you use the long shot advantage, you can kind of switch it up, but I would still recommend the Ranger foregrip just for better recoil control, so you do have no bouncing around or anything. At number 3, we do have the Stoner, running the agency suppressor, task force barrel, 3 times optic, the Raider pad on it, and then the field agent grip. Field agent grip is just for like recoil control, and I mean, this thing is a beam. It is a beam. I really like it at the mid range. Long range, it does fall off a little bit, but the mid range really good, about 40 to 50 meters, real nice. But you can stretch it out to long range. It's pretty good. But my number 2, which I think is a little bit better, is the Bruen. Since they nerfed that 60 round mag with the recoil control and all that, it's not as good now. So I do not run the 60 mag, and I just run the monolithic, summit, tack, and VLK for the long range and commando foregrip. That's how I run it. I mean, you can still run the 60 round mag, but I'm just running on attachments now, because like, even if I go like this, even if I change it up, I would still want tag. But even if I did this, the recoil on it now, that's kind of really bad. So I mean, it doesn't look bad there, but I mean, the recoil control is just bad now on it, so I would probably recommend this build on it if you want more of a mid-range setup. This is what I run in multiplayer, but for the longer ranges, I mean, it's not going to connect as good now because it does have so much more recoil. Actually, yeah, I can make sure I have commando. I think I had it before, but I'm not for sure. But yes, commando is what we need on it. And then this, you can really use GI Mini. You can use the hollow sight, or you can use the 3x optic. I would use 3x optic on this because it's gonna be more mid to long. And then number 1, we have the beast of the PKM. And this thing, I mean, it is accurate. It has good range. I mean, it is just a beast. Monolithic suppressor, extended barrel, tack laser, 3x optic, and snatch grip. Snatch grip is key because it does recoil control, and you get aim down sight speed, and you get aim down sight speed with this. So I mean, it's not like, look, without these two, it's okay. But now put them on, and now you have control up, you have range up, accuracy up. And I mean, this thing, I mean, yeah, it hits hard. This is the best LMG in my opinion in the game. Let me do it down below what you guys think is the best LMG in the game, and like, comment, subscribe, check the description out, and I'll see you guys